Let's build a decomp tree. A decomposition tree is a powerful visual in Power BI that allows you to see multiple dimensions of your data. It's one of Power BI's AI visuals, so you can even use it to get insights into your data that you might not have expected. So here we have our zombie dashboard. The apocalypse is here, guys, and we want data on it. Our data set details encounters with zombies over the course of several months, including weapons used, zombie types, location of the encounters, and the outcome of the encounter, meaning survived, injured, or turned into a zombie. We want to see how these metrics relate to each other, so let's use a decomp tree. You find the visual here, and the first thing you will add is the Analyze field. This is your metric you are looking to have explained. In our case, it is a count of the encounter IDs. Now we will add the Explain by metrics. These are the fields you want the visual to use to explain the Analyze metric. So here we will add weapon description, location, outcome, and zombie description. You'll see this little plus sign pop up on the visual. When you click on this, you are given a few options. You can select a manual layout of your path, and let's do that first. So here we will add outcome, location, zombie, and then weapon. We can follow this path to see the encounters where someone has turned into a zombie, at the church, where the zombie was a newly turned zombie, and finally to the weapon used. Here you can follow the various paths and see how the numbers change depending on what you select. You can also select high value, and the visual will calculate of your selected explained metrics, what metric has the highest impact. If we follow the plus signs, the visual is dynamic and continues to calculate the next highest impact metric until we reach the end. Low value is just the opposite, meaning it shows the calculate metric that has the minimum impact. You can see what I mean when we change the month filter, which causes the visual to recalculate and shift the categories around. High value and low value are called AI splits. The AI splits are all or nothing. If you make anything manual here, it will consider the category arrangement as manually set. We also have a setting over here for the AI splits that's pretty important. Here, you can select from absolute versus relative value. Okay, what does that mean? Well, if you choose absolute and say select high value, then the AI splits will find the absolute highest value. So for our example, in April, the AI split in absolute mode is showing us outcome as the first column because it sees that outcome has the highest absolute values as they pertain to our analyzed metric, specifically 33 to 60. But when we shift to relative, it is now showing location as the first column because the suburban wasteland has a higher relative percentage. Let's explain this a little bit more. To calculate the relative percentage, first you find the expected average value. You take the total count of encounter IDs, which is 60, divide it by the count of locations, which in our case is 10. This gets you, of course, 6. But the value for suburban wasteland has 11 encounters. Divide this absolute value of 11 by the expected average value, meaning divide 11 by 6, and you get 1.833. Going back to the absolute option, we can run the same formula to see why outcome is not the highest relative metric, even though it's the highest absolute metric. We have 3 possible outcomes: survived, injured, or turned into a zombie. Divide our total encounters, which is 60, by 3. You get, of course, 20, but our absolute value is 33. So divide 33 by 20, and you get 1.65. which is lower than the calculated relative value of 1.833. And that is how absolute and relative differ. Locking prevents someone from removing the column. So if you have a static view you want to publish, just set up the categories how you want them and then lock them. This will not override the AI splits like the manual selection does. So you can lock the second column, for example, without losing the ability to see AI splits in the columns downstream. Finally, you can drill through with decomposition trees. You can right-click and drill through on a metric from the decomposition tree to further detail, or you can drill from another page to a decomposition tree. If you want to learn more about drill through in Power BI, please go check out my video about it. And if you like this video, please don't forget to subscribe.